let's talk about security. Europe's security. As a German with Turkish roots, I've always looked at this question from two angles. From a continent that built peace through unity, and from a region where security has often meant survival. Today, both stories meet again. The world around is shifting, and Europe stands at a turning point. Between dependency and identity, between being protected and becoming capable. Europe's most powerful transformations were born in crisis. The Union itself was an answer to destruction, a promise that cooperation could replace conquest. Now, as the transatlantic order begins to erode, Europe faces a new existential question. How will it define itself, not only militarily, but morally and culturally, in a world of dissolving certainties? Two recent events captured this shift perfectly. In Berlin, the German government approved a 62.4 billion defense budget, the second largest item of the year. And in Washington, nearly at the same time, President Trump announced his intent to cut military aid to the Baltic states. One message from within, determination, one message from beyond, distance. Together, they spell a single truth. Europe must build its own security identity or risk having none. This change is not confined in strategy rooms. According to the Eurobarometer Spring 2025, an overwhelming 90% demand greater unity against global challenges. 8 of 10 Europeans are concerned about the Union's defense and security. Security has become part of our collective psychology, no longer a technical policy, but a shared emotional anchor. And among the youth, optimism is rising. 72% believe in the European Union's future. That matters because security is not only about protection, it's about belonging, a sense of belonging. This moment is more than a policy shift. It's a cultural reimagination. For decades, Europe lived under an Atlantic narrative. America was the protector, Europe the protected. That story is fading, and every fading story demands a new one. Now, Europe must write its own, where security means defending not empires, but values, democracy, law, human dignity, where strength is measured not by domination, but by resilience. The 2025 Munich Security Conference made it clear. Europe can no longer be the junior partner of history. In a multipolar world, it must act, not merely react. The US retreat might look like a threat, but it could also be Europe's invitation to adulthood, a call to translate moral conviction into strategic capacity. Germany's budget decision is not just fiscal arithmetic. It's a cultural statement that Europe's moral responsibility must finally meet its power. Last week, the European Union unveiled its new strategy, Preserving Peace, Defense, Readiness Roadmap 2030, it's called. It's a simple but historic premise. What Europe does in the next 5 years will shape the continent's security for the next century. The roadmap is a concrete plan with clear goals, milestones, and annual progress reviews. By 2030, Europe aims to build a defense posture strong enough to deter threats and respond to aggression. That means closing critical capability gaps, investing together, not separately, with stronger coordination among member states, launching major flagship projects, all interoperable with NATO, strengthening Europe's defense industry, and fully integrating Ukraine as part of Europe's own security architecture. Behind this urgency lies a changing threat landscape. A militarized Russia, rising hybrid attacks, and an increasingly unstable global environment. The message from Brussels is clear. Preserving peace now means building readiness. Europe must move from reliance to responsibility to protect not only its territory, but its values. More capable Europe means stronger NATO partners, not a duplication of NATO, but a deterrence. Stable political systems endure only when anchored in shared narratives and collective meaning. Post-war integration was never just economic, it was a moral reconstruction. Today, we face a similar moment. Integrating security policies alone won't be enough. They must be embedded in a renewed sense of who we are as Europeans, diverse, democratic, and responsible for our own destiny. To stand firm in a multipolar world, Europe must merge three kinds of strengths: material power, narrative power, social power. If these dimensions converge, Europe's autonomy can become a democratic reality. Europe's future won't be decided in Washington, it will be decided here, in Berlin, Brussels, Paris, and in the way we think about ourselves. The age of dependency is ending, the age of responsibility has to begin, and maybe when history looks back, America's withdrawal will not be seen as Europe's loss, but as the moment Europe finally found itself. I am Yasemin Aydın, and this is the second episode of UNFRAMED. See you next week.